Hello everybody, I'm back. Hang on a sec. I am back. Unfortunately, the sort of brightness setup is a bit worse off because it's not light out anymore here in no. It's probably the best I can do. Hello everybody. Right, so I'm just gonna go and get it up on the qualifying up on my computer, and I'll quickly go and promote the stream, and we'll be good to go. Qualifying starting.
Precious.
Copyright, copyright. But yes, we shall get some music on, and I'll go and quickly promote the stream. Hang on a second, guys. I won't be able to read chat for a minute. I'm just quickly promoting the stream. Give me a second, guys. Oh my days, they're all queuing up to get onto the track. Okay, the light goes green. Oh. The light goes green and we're ready for qualifying. So, let's just quickly get chat up to see if there's anybody commenting. Not yet. Okay, so start Q1. We have got 17 minutes. Oh. 17 minutes to go of Q1. It's just got underway, and once we do have the results of Q1, I will scroll it along so you guys can see who's in Q2, because of course we can't really show the qualifying order in any way because we've already got standings and everything, so that'd be too much probably. So yeah, Q1 underway. Everybody's still trying to get onto the circuits because of the absolute traffic jam that's in there. Okay, I was just hiding chat on the stream I'm watching. So yeah, 16 minutes to go. Everybody's still sort of queuing up, getting out onto the circuit. There goes the Aston Martin. There is still 7 drivers in the pits. Oscar Piastri, who's now Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz just heading out to the circuit now. As I said, Leclerc, Verstappen, Piastri, Perez, Tsunoda, Norris, and Bottas. Verstappen's just about to head out. In fact, no, Verstappen's still in the pit in the garage, which is quite interesting. Sargent and Leclerc both come out of the pits now, so it's just the others that are still waiting. And this is a replay of Daniel Ricciardo, and that is a stake. Sauber going in there, and Ricardo's pit wall have literally seen that, so they literally saw it right in front of them, and it was Zhou who did that. So I think Zhou's going to be getting a grid penalty potentially. Either that or the team will be getting a fine. One of the two will definitely be happening. So we're just about to head onto the first laps. Logan Sargent is currently on the first run of Q1, and he is just heading through the middle sector now, heading up towards the uppity chicane, as I call it. Lewis Hamilton has also begun his lap, as have the 2 Alpines, the 2 Haas's, the 2 Williams cars, and a Kick Sauber, as Sargent goes quickest in sector 2, and Hamilton heading round the first sector as well. And I think it's an Aston Martin behind Sargent, and there's a Ferrari at the last corner, so he's going to hope that that Ferrari doesn't hold him up, or that Ferrari gives him slipstream. I don't think he's going to do either, because the Ferrari's already a little bit further up the road, and Sargent's given up on his lap, which is quite interesting. As Hamilton's heading into sector 2, the same spot Sargent was at just a minute ago, heading in towards the upper chicane, as Kevin Magnussen is the first one to set a what I think is a competitive lap time. Nico Hülkenberg now beats him, and Lewis Hamilton heading out of the more arguably the trickiest corner on the circuit, as Ocon now goes second, splitting the Haas's, who are very close to each other. Pierre Gasly a little bit slower than Magnussen, so he is last out of the timed runners, which is 4 drivers, the 2 Haas's and 2 Alpines. Hamilton taking a wider line through the last corner, and he's going to head out the last corner and come across the line, and he's going to set a 1:28.8, so that's just over a tenth faster than Hülkenberg and Ocon. Albon goes 5th, just a little bit ahead of Gasly, a little bit behind Magnussen, and then Zhou just behind Gasly, sorry. Hello, I want pickle right now. Currently, the order is Russell, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Magnussen, Albon, Gasly, and Zhou. 13 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And Alonso comes across the line and goes slightly slower than Russell. The 2 Ferraris setting purple sector times so far. Leclerc purple in the first, Sainz purple in second and third. Sainz goes fastest by 4 tenths from Russell. Here comes Leclerc heading into the final braking zone. Still can't believe why Kevin was driving so stupidly. Tactics, team tactics and everything, very interesting. And Hamilton reporting on the radio that grip is very good. Leclerc just a tiny bit slower than Sainz, very close to each other on the track. Norris only goes 6th, so that's behind Ricciardo, Alonso, Russell, Leclerc and Sainz. Piastri coming out of the last corner now, and he's going to come across the line and set a 1:28.5, which is slower than Russell. And now Perez, who's gone 3rd, despite setting purple sectors 2 and 3. You're not behind that anymore. But Verstappen just about to head out into the track, so he's coming out a little bit later than everyone else is, which is a bit of a surprise. Maybe they're making a last minute setup change, because of course you have to have your car setup in Q1 be the final setup. Don't know what's going on with Sargent. He's coming back out onto the circuit again. Oh, you're not behind anymore. I only just got what you meant. Yeah. Well, I'm glad, because I don't like being behind. But we haven't had any incidents yet. We've got 3 drivers coming out of the pit lane to go on their opening laps, and that's Logan Sargent, Max Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas. At the moment, the order is Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Piastri, Alonso. That didn't sound very good out of the pits. The clutch. Stand by with that. Now, is that going to be a problem for Verstappen? Yeah, I wonder if that's just... I hope and I pray that isn't anything bad, purely because it'd mean you'd have to start right at the back. But for devil's advocate purposes, at least somebody else would win. Nah, he's fine. He's obviously going to be fine. So yeah, it's Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Piastri, Alonso, Ricciardo, all okay with the clutch now, is what he's saying. Is what his engineer's saying. Piastri, Alonso, Ricciardo, Norris, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Magnussen, Albon, Gasly and Zhou. That's the first 17, the ones who have done laps. Now, let's watch what will probably be one of the 4 or 5 best laps of the weekend in qualifying, and that is Max Verstappen's qualifying lap, heading through turn 1, 2, and then into turn 3, a quick swift section before heading flat out through turn 4 and in towards the slight braking zone at turn 5, brakes slightly down to 4th or 5th into the chicane section, and then go into the corner that I was getting confused with. Now brake slightly, 4th or 5th gear, onto the back straight now. His first sector is going to be a 29.3, just a little bit off Carlos Sainz in the first sector. Although it is worth mentioning, Charles Leclerc actually has the all best first sector out of anybody. So it's still Leclerc who has the fastest first sector. As onto the back straight now, heading in towards the braking zone. Brake, hit the apex, and try and keep as close as you can to the ball without making contact. And then quick, swift left-hander before braking into the chicane. A blind sort of chicane. You have to brake before you even see the chicane. And then heading out to the corner, following the chicane, and onto the straight before the finish line. There's 3 straights in this: the main straight, the second straight, and then the back straight. This is the back straight that we're coming on to now. Verstappen hitting the brakes hard at 190 miles an hour or so, heading out of the last corner at just over 70 or 80, and here he comes across the finish line, and he's going to set a 128, sorry, .023. Bottas sets a time quick enough for 5th, which is very impressive, going half a second off of Verstappen. And I'm going to go into old commentator mode. Now we are on board with Nico Hülkenberg. Heading out to the final corner, he is 14th in position at the moment. Hopefully he will be aiming to go slightly higher up than that. He sets a time of 1 minute 28.383, which moves him up to 5th place, overtaking Bottas. Nah, Sargent, here we go. He's setting his first proper lap of the session, and that is going to put him 11th with a purple last sector. Not bad from him, although he is going to need better than that if he wants to go through, of course. So, all 20 drivers have set lap times. Hey, there's Claire Williams, the old Williams owner, and the old Williams boss, and the daughter of the founder of Williams, Frank Williams. But yeah, Zhou, Gasly, Albon, Ocon, and Stroll in the knockout zone at the moment, although it is very close. Hamilton with the purple first sector. He is looking fast, as and keep generic statements like that going, because then I could add to it. Hamilton, second sector, only slightly off Verstappen, so if he can just have a Sargent-like final sector, he'll be alright, as Stroll and Alonso go 6th and 7th and put themselves further into safety. Although with that being said, safety is very difficult in qualifying due to how equal the cars are, as the gap between first and last is only 1.2 seconds, which is crazy. As Lewis Hamilton goes into 3rd, 1/10 slower than Verstappen. Gasly only 15th, that's not going to be enough to get through, as Esteban Ocon's already put him back down to 16th, as Ocon goes 7th ahead of the 2 Aston Martins. And everybody's going to be, putting in these runs as backups, just in case their main lap doesn't go to plan, or if there's a yellow flag, or if there's a red flag at the end of the session. As Zhou only goes 19th, Albon coming into the pits, hopefully he'll be going for a setup change to try and make that car quicker. Sainz goes up to P1, as Lando Norris is on a lap at the moment. He is only in 16th. Of course, he got taken out in the sprint by Lewis Hamilton, or if you're talking about actual contact, it'd be Lance Stroll, but in reality it was actually Hamilton who orchestrated the contact. They said they put upgrades on Lewis's car for the session. Well, let's hope that pays off for him, because it's looking to be paying off at the moment. He's only 2/10 down. He's 2/10 ahead of teammate George Russell, as here comes Lando Norris coming out of the final corner and onto the straight, and he sets a 128, almost dead, as Carlos Sainz is the first driver of the session and the only driver in the session so far to be in the 1 minute 27s, as Norris was very, very close to Sainz throughout that lap. And here's a replay of Daniel Ricciardo getting a little bit squirmy on the exit, and that is him making a little bit of contact with the wall, giving a little bit of a love tap. And that was at turn 16 where he made contact with the wall. And Verstappen getting angry with an Alpine, like the Visa Cash App livery. I didn't I'll have another look at it in a minute. As Sargent was another one who was interrupted on his lap, as it was Yuki Tsunoda this time, who I think it was Yuki Tsunoda anyway. Sargent's saying it was Tsunoda, and I trust his judgment. So I think Tsunoda sort of ruined Sargent's lap because Sargent couldn't take the apex of turn number 17, and they're getting ready for their final runs of Q1. It is Sergio Perez is now top with a 127.7, and there's Juan Pablo Montoya, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is calling somebody an effing idiot or I don't know if you guys are aware of that clip of Montoya getting angry at Kimi Räikkönen, but it is iconic. I'm gonna see if I can find a soundbite of it, because nobody's out on track at the moment apart from Norris and Perez, so everybody's sort of stalemating, getting ready for the big lap, the big daddy of the laps, of all laps. Montoya, Räikkönen. Here it is. There's two famous clips of Montoya. There's Montoya, and Montoya getting angry at Räikkönen, and Montoya with the So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but
Williams hat nicht wie in den letzten Rennen zulegen können. Okay, sie haben die härteren Reifen vermutlich gewählt.
So it's coming up in a sec. What I'll do is actually I'll put my display capture, my screen capture on. Don't know why that's there. You can delete that because we are on 1,000 subscribers. Whoop whoop. This is the window I want to capture. So, and yes, you can see what I'm using for streaming. So this is, listen to this, listen to this. Listen to this, guys. No, no, no. Don't want to get copyrighted. But yes, that was. No. There we go. Calm. Yeah. That was Montoya getting mad at Räikkönen, and then the other one's him getting angry at the cameraman. He goes, King Räikkönen, what up, an idiot. But anyway, oh, this is gonna be tight. Everybody's heading out on track slowly and gingerly as possible. At the moment, just so you guys know, just in case nobody improves, Logan Sargent, Pierre Gasly, Kevin Magnussen, Zhou Guanyu, and Alex Albon are in the drop zone at the moment. Surprised Logan hasn't. Don't curse it. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. We've still got another minute and 50 seconds to go. And yes, on the bubble is from 10th to 15th is George Russell, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, Valtteri Bottas, Yuki Tsunoda, and Daniel Ricciardo. The biggest surprise, Nico Hülkenberg in 8th, although I don't know if that should be a surprise. Actually, no, the biggest surprise, Esteban Ocon in 9th, as Kevin Magnussen starts his lap with just under 2 minutes to go, 1.5 minutes to go now. Heading out to the first corner and into turn 2 and 3, flat out. This next sequence is very, very, very like Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Onto the straight, and then flat through, lift off through 4, flat through 5, and then into 6 where you brake into the long left-hander at 7. And then onto the straight, turn, heading towards turn 9 as there's a little bit of a kink, so I think the bit after the straight would be, oh no, it's turn 11 technically, sorry, turn 11 that they're heading in towards, that Kevin Magnussen is heading in towards. Brake at about 180 miles an hour at the 100 meter boards. Try and clip the apex, run a little bit wide so you can run alongside the apex on the right hand side of the chicane and get as close as the wall as you can. Brake blindly for the chicane, left and right for the uppy chicane, and then into the left at turn number 16. Onto the straight now, heading in towards turn 17. Magnussen up by 33 thousandths on Ricciardo. Norris goes up to second, just under a tenth and a half behind Perez, as he is safe, I reckon, as is Sergio Perez. Other than that, though, I don't think anybody else is. As Magnussen runs wide, and he's going to complain that is because of the traffic he got, and I would not be... I would agree with him there. And he misses out by 2 thousandths, the same time as Logan Sargent, but he got held up by traffic, so that certainly hasn't helped him out. Sargent's timed this perfectly. He could get out here if he sets a good enough time, and he sets a 1 minute 28.4. That might not be enough. Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Bottas, and Stroll behind him. Meanwhile, Tsunoda improving. Albon goes up to 8th, which lowers Sargent to 13th. Albon can probably count himself safe for this session. Ocon up to 8th, so he's probably through as well. Alonso, Russell, Sargent, Stroll, and Bottas all at risk here as the 2 V-carbs are improving on their times, as is Pierre Gasly. Will it be enough though? Here comes Tsunoda coming out the last corner. He goes up to 9th, 6 cents slower than Verstappen, who is now topped by 83 thousandths. Daniel Ricciardo coming out to the final corner now. What's his time going to be? Is he going to be able to match his teammate, or is he going to be slightly slower? Let's see. And he's not through. Ricciardo's out. The man who finished 4th in the sprint is out of Q1. He's qualified at best 17th, 97 thousandths down, as Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll both improving, as is Valtteri Bottas. Bottas slightly up on Stroll's time. Stroll 6 cents down on Verstappen, which would put him roughly where Esteban Ocon is at the moment. Gasly coming into the last corner, Stroll in tow, and Bottas as well. And Gasly's coming out of the last corner. What's his time going to be? Is it going to be a good enough time? He is. It is. He's up into P5. Stroll goes up to 10th. So now Alonso's at risk. And is Alonso going to get knocked out here? No, he's not. He's just about safe. So out in Q1, Zhou Guanyu, Kevin Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, Logan Sargent, and Valtteri Bottas. So what a Q1 session that was. I'm going to add a little scroll at the bottom. I'll see if I can get a scroll working. So let's see. I don't know if I can scroll it or not. Trying to remember how you scroll. Yeah, you are very behind, far behind now. Yeah, I am. Probably. Right. Hang on a sec. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I've got the right order here. Okay, so it's Ricciardo. Okay, right, there. Oh. I want to make that big enough so it scrolls. Really cool. Right, so that's who's out in Q1. After it doesn't scroll, it's fine. So yeah, that is the end of Q1. Out in Q1, Valtteri Bottas, Logan Sargent, Daniel Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, and Zhou Guanyu, and that is what the bottom 5 will be for the Miami Grand Prix. So currently they're going through adverts, so that's why we're just sort of taking a wee minute just to gather our thoughts. So sorry, there's the guys that are in Q1. Right, so yes, out in Q1, Valtteri Bottas, Logan Sargent, Daniel Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, and Zhou Guanyu. Zhou Guanyu really slapped the pace. He got involved in an incident at the start of the session as well with Daniel Ricciardo, who was also knocked out. So he might be getting a fine, or he might just start from the pit lane. He can't get a grid penalty because he is starting last, so that doesn't help him out. Kevin Magnussen 19th. This is arguably the biggest upset because Magnussen probably would have gotten through if it wasn't for the traffic he had at the last corner. Sargent had a decent time, but he just didn't put enough on the line. And then as for Bottas, he just wasn't able to improve in the final sector and take out Alonso. Alonso was at risk earlier on in the session. Lower the volume a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so as I was saying, so Bottas got knocked out mainly because he didn't improve. I think it was in the last sector he needed to improve, and he would have knocked Alonso out. Sargent just wasn't quick enough in general at his home race as well, because his home state is Florida. He is American, of course. So this is his proper home race. He doesn't have another home race unless you're including Las Vegas or COTA. I wouldn't know because he's got a race in Miami. If he didn't have a race in his state, I would count the US Grand Prix. Ricciardo, again, just didn't have the pace. Magnussen got knocked out because, as I said, because of the traffic, and then Zhou got knocked out because he just wasn't quick enough either. Q2 about to get underway at the Miami International Autodrome, the 5.412 mile long circuit. Here's Anthony Davidson showing a clip of, I think it's Daniel Ricciardo, and this might explain why he ended up getting knocked out of qualifying, as he's got a bit of oversteer, which is why perhaps he might have lost a little bit of time. That was in the first sector of the track, and then in the final corner he has another catch of oversteer, and that basically continues all the way through from turn 17 up until turn 18, which is crazy. And he had his first moment at turn on the exit of turn 8. Now this is what I was talking about with Magnussen. See, he got held up by several different drivers and thus had to run wide, just like Sargent had to do earlier on in the session. Now, I didn't catch who those drivers were, but I think they might be in a bit of trouble because they, let's just say, were blocking Kevin Magnussen, and as a result he got knocked out. In my opinion anyway, he would have gotten through if he wasn't forced wide. Of course, Miami International Autodrome is based around the Miami Dolphins, which of course finished second in the last 2 years in the Super Bowl, I think, or the last couple of years anyway. Am I right or am I wrong? No, I am completely wrong. Ignore me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. When was the last time the Dolphins actually got to the Super Bowl final? I'm checking that actually. Just because there's not much going on right now on track, I don't think. So, let me just go and quickly check. When was the last time the Dolphins got to the Super Bowl final? Have they just never been that good? Let me have a look. Because the Patriots were good for a long time. I don't watch NFL, by the way, for context. Hang on a second. Here we go. Right. So, the last time, have the Miami Dolphins ever even won it? I don't think they have they? Have the Dolphins won it? No, I don't think they have. Oh wait, no, last time they won it was in 1974. Wow, that's bad. They haven't won it since 1974. That's crazy. But anyway, Perez, Stroll, and Tsunoda out onto the circuit, and they're showing the camera towards generic famous person, probably. I don't even know who that is. And then there's the people who actually care, the fans. Exactly. So there's Nico Hulkenberg, of course, the only Haas in Q2 after his teammate Kevin Magnussen was blocked. And there is Piero Ferrari. You could tell he is the son of Enzo. First of all, because of his style. And second of all, and I'm not saying this in an offensive way, because it's true, they have very similar eyes. They have very unique eyes. I'm not saying that in a bad way, by the way. I actually think it's quite cute. Not in a weird way though. Not in a... Yeah. Anyway. And also you can tell it's him because he's old. Oh, I'm digging myself a hole here. But yes. Everybody apart from Gasly, Albon and Hulkenberg are out on track. I wonder if Haas are going to run in the gap or if they are going to go for a couple runs. Well, here comes Albon anyway. And he's heading out of his pit garage. Hulkenberg's still not out yet. There's James Vowles. And I'm pretty sure he's getting fed up of Logan Sargent tanking every single qualifying session. But then again, when you've got Alex Albon as your teammate, it's very hard to look good. As Yuki Tsunoda is the first to start a lap, and he is swiftly followed by Lance Stroll. Or was it Verstappen that was the first to start a lap? I think it was Verstappen, sorry, then Stroll, then Tsunoda. And now coming out of the last corner is Sergio Perez. And they were on board with Lewis Hamilton there for a moment, as he has many fans, of course, in the States. Lewis Hamilton, he's a universally known figure. Whereas Max Verstappen, of course, he's universally known, but he's not universally loved. The Netherlands, however, they love him like he's a god. So that's that. Verstappen at the start of his lap, heading out of the first couple of corners, and I'm just gonna quickly go in. Where is that? Heading out to turn number. Hang on, guys. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So here he comes, heading onto the back straight, heading in towards turn 11, fastest sector, purple sector, as he heads in towards the braking zone at turn number 11 and into 12. Hug the curb here at 12 before heading into 13. And then, he's got traffic up ahead. Good job from Alex Albon to avoid holding up his ex-teammate Max Verstappen, as Verstappen heads on towards the back straight after entering the tight turn 16, which is probably the trickiest corner on the circuit, along with its predecessor corner turns 14 and 15 at the chicane. Now, Verstappen did have a purple first and second sector, but he doesn't anymore because Lando Norris is a purple second sector. I don't know who it is that has a purple first, but Verstappen certainly isn't the quickest in the middle sector. Oscar Piastri now has a quickest middle sector. It's now Tsunoda, Perez, Stroll. That's the order at the moment. Verstappen goes quickest, 127.9. First driver in the specific session to be setting a 127. Lando Norris comes across the line, and he goes and beats Verstappen, the 127.8. And here comes Oscar Piastri coming to the line, and he goes fastest by 1.5 tenths from Lando Norris. That was the voice crack there. Here comes the two Mercs now. Hamilton goes into 6th, only ahead of Stroll, which isn't good for him so far anyway. And Russell comes across the line, and he just goes in front of Hamilton. Now the two Ferraris coming through. Charles Leclerc with 2 purple sectors. This is going to be a monster lap. And he goes 2 tenths almost ahead of Oscar Piastri. Carlos Sainz heading through, and he's going to set a 1 minute 27 points. Just 9, just about. So, Verstappen, Sainz, Norris, Piastri, and Leclerc in the 127s. Everybody else in the 128s. Fernando Alonso coming around the final braking zone and heading towards the line, and he's going to set a 1 minute 28, which is not very good at all. He's 1.2 seconds down, although I'm sure that that was a scruff set of tyres because Fernando's not that slow. Ocon goes 9th, 8 tenths down. Gasly, Albon, and Hulkenberg still to set times. Gasly comes out the last corner, and I just clocked both Alpines are in Q2. I only just clocked that. So Gasly goes 8 tenths slower than Leclerc now, and Hulkenberg now goes faster than Tsunoda, Perez, Russell, and Gasly got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Now, is that because the car's gone off, or because of a slower car? Let's see. Well, here's a replay of Lando Norris, and is it him that's caused the incident? Or, nope, it's just a replay of him mounting the curbs very, very high, and he is the highest racing driver since Frank Montagny, to quote Josh Ravel. But I think we had a yellow flag in Sector 3. I don't know what for, but I think somebody had an incident. I think it might have been Alex Albon, because he's set a time that is, let me just get that right, 18.5 seconds down. I wonder why. So at the moment in the knockout zone, Albon, who hasn't set a proper time yet, Alonso, Stroll, Hamilton, and Ocon. And here's a replay of what happened to Albon. Did he go off at the... Oh, yes, he nearly binned it at the last braking zone. He nearly went to the barriers on the outside of the track. He just outbraked himself a little bit, and then he realised midway through, and he was like, ah! And he managed to brake and avoid the barrier, so he's alright. And the only thing that he lost there was his pride, as he's heading round, probably to go back to the pits, as the only other drivers that are still on the circuit are Ocon, Gasly, Hulkenberg, and Albon. And speaking of Hulkenberg, he's had a very solid weekend. He's up in 6th right now, which is very impressive. And Gasly now 2 enters the pits, as does Hulkenberg, so Albon is the only one now on the circuit. But he'll come back in as well, and then they're all going to basically play chicken. Last one to head out wins, basically. And I'm sure that was a scrub set of tyres. Alonso is having his tyres changed, so I think it was a scrub set. And they're getting ready to roll. Sorry, I couldn't help but dance. Anyway. And, yep, showing generic famous person chilling by the swimming pool instead of actually watching the fucking racing. Sorry for the language. It's 9 o'clock though, so I'm past filibuster, so I can swear. Yeah, I mean, you could at least actually watch the cars going past you instead of watching them on a TV screen as they go by. You know, don't just be sitting in the swimming pool like a famous person. Go and watch the racing if you actually care. Honestly, some people would die for those tickets, and you're just sitting in a swimming pool watching it. Honestly, like they really do not know how privileged they are. By the way, I just realised something. Lando Norris, he's third, 3.5 tenths down, nearly, and he set his time on mediums. Not bad. And one of the Alpines is trying to get going, but they all are heading out a little bit earlier than earlier on than in Q1, because in Q1 they were all waiting until about 2 minutes left, which is very close. Some of them were waiting that long anyway. However, that may end up being the case here as well. There's a Mercedes comparison powered by AWS, aka Amazingly Weird Stuff, which is Russell being 0.07 seconds faster in turn 1 in a combination of braking and full throttle. 3 minutes to go here in Q2. This is when it gets exciting, because we are going to almost definitely lose a car between the Mercedes, the Aston Martins, and potentially a Red Bull, because Perez is down in 8th at the moment, so he needs to pull a lap together, otherwise he could be at risk of being out. As you guys can see at the bottom, Bottas, Sargent, Ricardo, Magnussen, and Zhou out in Q1. Who will be joining them in the next 5 places on the grid? And why will it be Alex Albon? Because that Williams is I think anyway, the Williams is slower than the other cars here, so it'd be a miracle if he qualified higher than 15th. But if he does, fair play to him. Although the Aston Martins are also struggling, I do think Alonso will get into Q3. I think he was wearing scrub tyres, but I don't know. And here's a replay of Charles Leclerc, and that's an Aston Martin coming out onto the track. And that was a bit dodgy. Although, I don't know if that was enough. It wasn't as bad as Zhou's was, let's just put it that way. Because earlier on in the session, you guys don't know, Zhou basically went right in front of Ricardo, and he'll get penalised for that, because you're not allowed to do that. I don't know if that was close enough. Maybe it was. But Leclerc wouldn't have collided with him. Even if he hadn't moved to the right, he wouldn't have collided with him, because Alonso was just a tiny bit ahead. So, yeah. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. Everybody on their out laps, apart from Alonso, Perez, Tsunoda, and Hulkenberg. How do I know that? Well, when they're on a lap, it doesn't say out lap. It just says the delta that they are to first place or to the elimination zone in Alonso's case. And here he comes heading around the first sector, in and out of the chicanes, heading in towards the tricky corner that is turn number 8. Onto the back straight now. 33 thousandths down on Gasly, so that's not a great first sector for Alonso. He needs to improve on that. If he wants to get into Q3, he needs to be a lot quicker than that. He needs to be at least 2 tenths ahead of Gasly, I'd say, to have a chance to go through. And Stroll's doing that. He's 1.5 tenths up so far in the first sector, so he's looking good. If he can just maintain that through the lap, then he should be safe, in my opinion anyway. But here comes Alonso heading in towards turn 16, the trickiest corner on the track. And he comes out there, and in the Delta times, he's only just ahead of Gasly. I don't think this is going to be enough for Alonso here. He needs to work on that last corner, as Yuki Tsunoda goes up into 6th here, a 128.1. And it's very tight, only 2 tenths between Tsunoda, who's in 6th, and Gasly, who is in 10th, sorry. And that is where the dropout zone is. Stroll loses 990. Oh, and Alonso's out. Alonso's out. Stroll is really close as well, as Perez goes up to 3rd. He's fine. So Alonso is the first car that we know is out of the session. He is in at best 13th, but he'll probably be starting even lower than that. Here comes Stroll. Stroll goes up to 9th. That probably won't be enough, because Hamilton and the 2 Alpines are out there. Hamilton is improving. Will it be enough for him, though, to get through? His delta time is to Leclerc, and he's on 2 personal bests. Is it going to be good enough? And yes, it is. He goes 2nd, just 2 tenths, just under 2 tenths, I should say, behind Leclerc. And Fernando Alonso and George Russell both out. As Russell comes out the last corner, is it going to be enough? And it is. So both Aston Martins out in Q2. Stroll 11th and Alonso down in 14th. Although that could be even worse now, as Nico Hulkenberg is under threat, because here comes Esteban Ocon and Alex Albon, who are both setting green sectors. Verstappen goes 2nd, just behind Leclerc, but here comes Ocon coming out of the last corner, and he is going to go and not improve. He is out, 40 thousandths slower than his best lap. Albon just behind on Hulkenberg's delta. A good sector time here in the final sector could get him through. It'll either be him or Gasly, although no, Gasly's out as well, so only he can knock out Nico Hulkenberg. Now, can he jump ahead of Fernando Alonso, to my shock anyway, and finish higher than 15th in the session? Let's see, can he get into Q3? And the answer is no, but he does beat Alonso, which is a surprise to me. And that just shows how poor Aston Martin have been this weekend, as Alonso is out, and something certainly went wrong there for Aston Martin. So, that is crazy. So, let's just go and quickly add that on. So, hang on a second, guys. You won't be able to hear me very well. Now, I'm trying to figure out how to make that scroll. Let's see. No, I don't want that. I want to make it scroll. How do I make it scroll? having a look and seeing how I can scroll. How I can scroll it. Give me a sec, guys. I'm trying to figure out how you scroll. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for how to make that scroll because I'm not very. Is that it? No, that's not it. Hang on a sec, guys. I'm gonna Google that. Okay, here we go. Found it. Found it. Right, there we go. So, that should be it working. Thing. No, it's not. Oh, here we go. Right. No, I don't want vertical speed. I don't want vertical speed. Ah! No vertical speed, no vertical speed, no vertical speed. Hang on. There we go. Hang on a second, I'll get rid of out in Q1. Good. I think that's good. Yep. There we go. We got scrolling text now, folks. We are becoming more and more advanced. Whoop whoop. So, those are the guys who are out. Sorry. Those are the guys who are out overall. What I'll do is I'll make it a massive gap. So I need to wait until Joe's gets all the way to there, basically. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. Okay, nah, it needs to be a little bit further back. A little bit further back than that. So let's see if the scroll is working correctly now. Come on, come on. Nah, a little bit more, a little bit more. I just realized it's probably just. I think it's that I need to do. Is it? Is it? Oh, there we go. Oh no, it's not. We've gone the wrong way. We've gone the wrong way. Right, let's see if this is working, right? Let's see if this is working, guys. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Please. I can't believe I'm doing this, but like, it's funny. Come on. Please. 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 Yes! That's exactly how I wanted it. Right, perfect. That's the best I could do as well, so we move. We move. That's actually pretty good. That's high quality, that. Only the best on the Liam Talks Motorsport YouTube channel, guys. Only the best. Maybe I should add more scrolls eventually. You know what I should do? I should add that for news stuff, actually. I should add that for news stuff. That's good, though. That's good. That's good. So, yeah. That is us adding more to this channel. Adding more originality. I don't know why there's a border there. I'll see if I can get rid of the border. Because there's a border for some reason. Is there? Oh no, there's not. Sorry, that's just on my phone that I'm using for chat. Right. Absolutely great. So now we can move on, and they're talking to Zach Brown right now. Don't know what he's saying. But yeah, I wonder, should I maybe add some images on? You know what I need to do? I need to find more Streamlabs settings and make my streams more high quality, because the reason why they don't get watched enough is because they don't have high enough quality. I need to start making my own thumbnails for them, and I need to start working on them. So I'm gonna do that tonight. Actually, I'm gonna make myself work on this for tomorrow night, so my streams are much better, because I want these streams to be high quality and good. See, not only for you guys, but for future audiences as well. You guys can say that you were the first on this channel. That's what I want from the streaming anyway. And then as for the video aspects, they're still going to be as crap as always. The videos are just going to be badly edited because I'm just a terrible video editor, and I don't have the money to hire my own. And also, I'm an independent channel because I want to have my own creative output for it. So yeah, that's just me quickly. Well, we're waiting for Q3 to start, which is about to start. By the way, well done to Nico Hulkenberg for getting through. I'm not surprised. This man is literally a demon. So yes, this is everybody. This is out. Stroll in 11th, 12th Ocon, 13th Gasly, 14th Albon, 15th Alonso, 16th Bottas, 17th Sargent, 18th Ricciardo, 19th Magnussen, and 20th Zhou. I love it because it's like Sky Sports News with like the scrolling text at the bottom. Maybe I should get like a red outline for that. Or do you know what to do actually? Just add color. That's actually a smart idea. Just add like add color. Hang on a second. Right. Hang on a sec. Oh, but that covers the text, doesn't it? Right, hang on a second. I need to make it transparent then. Let me go and do that quickly. How do I make this transparent? I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't work. Right, I tried it at least. I tried it. Right, there we go. Right, so we are in the start of Q3 now. And Lewis Hamilton is out on track, as are all of the other 9 drivers, in fact. And this is crazy. This is an absolutely mental stat. Pole this weekend would see him equal Niki Lauda for 12th on the all-time pole list. That is about Charles Leclerc. I cannot for the life of me. Oh my days, that is actually quite funny. That's actually quite funny. That is, oh my days. That's hilarious. The fact that like Leclerc's almost on the same minute poles as Niki Lauda. But then again, I suppose another thing you could say is that you know, I mean, if I had to give you an example, I would say that Pastor Maldonado has more Grand Prix wins than Chris Amon, you know. It's pretty relevant to have better statistics. It's about, for me, it's about percentages. I just realised we finished the half an hour song, so now we're on to Who Likes the Party by Kevin MacLeod. No, but I'll put on My Leaving for the last like 4 minutes of the session, because that's quite a good song for like qualifying. A meme-tacular music. Oh, pardon me. Honestly, this is hilarious. No, where's my favorite one? Where is it? No, not that one. No. I do like this one actually, yeah. Right, so anyway, first time set in Q3. Nico Hulkenberg with a 29.1, which is pretty impressive. But as I say, that Lewis Hamilton goes and blows that out the water. 4.5 tenths ahead. Tsunoda is 3 seconds down on that time. Russell goes top now, 128.0. Now, who's going to be the first in the 27 mark? Will it be Sergio Perez? Answer, no. I'm kidding. Of course it was. 127.7. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, and Charles Leclerc up next. Here comes Verstappen coming out of the final corner, and he's going to set a 1 minute 27.2. A brilliant time from him. Question is, can Charles Leclerc beat his final sector? Lando Norris's first lap on mediums. Again, bit weird. Half a second down. So considering he's on mediums, that's not half bad. Charles Leclerc, can he get to the 26s? No, he can't, but he's just a tiny bit behind Verstappen. And this is when Max turns into prime Ayrton Senna. Q3. Q1 and 2, he's Max Verstappen. Q3, Ayrton Senna. But here comes Piastri. Can he get into the 26s? No. But he is in the mid 27s. Hamilton in Q1, it's good, lots of grip. Hamilton in Q3, I've got no grip, man. How things may change in just 20 to 30 minutes. Absolutely crazy. Which one is it? No. No. Oh, wait a second. No, that's not the song I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of a specific song. Hang on a second. I don't know what the song's called, but it's like a vaudeville song. That was like a form of like entertainment back in the day. And then I got replaced by the movies, which is quite sad, but that's life. So yes, so far in Q3, the standings: Verstappen a tenth and a half ahead of Leclerc, and then following him, it's Sainz, Piastri, Perez, Norris, Russell, Hamilton, Hulkenberg, and Tsunoda. Although Yuki's time was probably hindered by a mistake, because there's no way he would be 4.4 seconds down when the whole field is separated by like a second and a half in qualifying 2. Then again, Hulkenberg is 1.8 down. But that just shows how quick Sainz, Leclerc and Verstappen are, because they're in like the early to mid 127s and everybody else is in the late 127s. Like Piastri's in 127.7. Sainz is in the 127.4s. Leclerc in the 127.3s, and then Verstappen in the 127.2s. It's pretty close between the top 3. After that, though, there's not really much in terms of a battle for pole. The top 3 are battling for pole, which is Verstappen, Leclerc, and Sainz. Now let's see if anything will come of it. So, heading into the final 4 minutes now, and I am going to get this on in a second. So, they're getting ready to come out. The final runs. The question is, who'll come out on top? Will it be a Max Verstappen or will it be one of the Ferraris? That's the big battle that is going on. It'll be one of those 3 that gets pole. If it isn't, then something would have gone very wrong for all 3 of them. That's all I'm going to say. Lando Norris, maybe an outside contender. And we'll get this absolute banger of a tune on. So, Hulkenberg and Tsunoda, the first 2 out onto the circuit. By the way, guys, if you're wondering why I don't have a stand anymore, hang on a second. This is why. My stand is knackered. It's broken. It's broken! It's broken! Anti-stall. Beep! Hulkenberg said that Sainz was impeding his lap. And yeah, he was. That'll be a penalty for Sainz, probably. Although then again, so many of them have done it. Is there even a point in penalising it anymore? No further investigation. I don't know how that's happened. That's pretty blatant impeding to me. So I don't know what's going on there. FIA. or no, sorry, FIA, Ferrari International Assistance. That's what that's what the saying used to be. I don't know if you guys know about that. That used to be the famous saying about Ferrari. That was no Ferrari and the FIA, and that was Ferrari International Assistance, not Federation de Automobile. That's what it actually is. So yeah, everybody apart from George Russell out on the track. Now everybody is out on the track. 2 minutes to go. Max Verstappen heading onto the back straight, and it's going to be a battle between him and Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz for this pole position. It will probably be Verstappen who wins. However, if it doesn't happen, then that's cool, because I mean, it's still been an entertaining qualifying session. But don't forget this man, Lando Norris. He was on the mediums, but now he's on the softs, and he was 6 cents down on the mediums, but those soft tires should be a lot quicker than the mediums that he was on in his first run. Here's Carlos Sainz, who is on his out lap. Hülkenberg and Tsunoda have both began their times, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on their laps. And if they do have to abort them, they do have time to go on another lap, unlike the others. Oscar Piastri doesn't have time for that, even though he's just crossed the line. So there's Piero Ferrari, who is checking his phone. I'm surprised a man of his age, in his late 70s, has good amount of knowledge of technology. I wonder what Enzo would think of that. what his dad would think of him being on a phone during the race. Nah, he probably is. It's probably something important, so a lot more important than what I'm doing right now. Because you guys can probably actually watch it, but I don't know. I'm just commentating on it because I like it. But here comes Max Verstappen towards the end of the first sector, trying to beat his own time. Charles Leclerc beginning his time, and now everybody apart from Sainz and the two Mercs has started their laps. So this is when the times are going to be quickly coming in throughout the last 30 seconds of the session. And I am going to start the song again because we're not going to have time. The song's going to finish before that. Verstappen quickest in the first sector. Here comes Leclerc coming into the last corner of the first sector. And in the first sector, he is just a tiny bit down on Verstappen's time. And Russell's just made it across the line to start his lap. It looked like he might not make it. Leclerc's down on his first sector time, as is Sainz. Max Verstappen, though, he's only got an improved. He's down in the middle sector, though, so this could be an opportunity for Ferrari. Could they maybe sneak something out of the bag here and try and upset Red Bull at Miami like they did in 2022 with Leclerc and Sainz getting a front row lockout? Can they do it again this year, or will they come short? In the middle sector, Leclerc is way down. I don't think he's going to be contending for pole anymore. Verstappen's going to come across the line, and he doesn't improve. Although that was a superb lap at the beginning from Verstappen, and I don't think Leclerc or Sainz have a chance here at getting pole position. And the main man was Lando Norris to focus on, but he is only in 5th. Here comes Leclerc coming out of the last corner, and he needed a miracle to get pole. He's half a second down, so he doesn't get pole position. Could it be Carlos Sainz perhaps? Probably not, and it is not Carlos Sainz either. So unless Lewis Hamilton or George Russell could do something, then it will be Max Verstappen on pole from Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. It was incredible that the opening laps for those guys gave them the front row, as Lewis Hamilton only goes 8th, and he's on medium tyres. I don't know why, but he's on medium tyres. Here comes George Russell, and he is not improving either, and that is his session done. So, we have got the order now for the grid tomorrow, and that is Max Verstappen on pole, followed by Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, and Sergio Perez, who are all separated by a blanket of 2.5 tenths. Then it's Lando Norris and Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri locking out the third row, and then it's George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, and then Yuki Tsunoda and Nico Hülkenberg, and that is your top 10 for the Miami Grand Prix. I'm gonna go now because it's 10 o'clock. I need my bed. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all whenever the next stream is. It'll probably be tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be tomorrow. So yeah, I will.